As New Hampshire's largest water body, Lake Winnipesaukee gets pretty busy during the summer months. Spring, on the other hand, reveals a quieter side of Winnie, and is a great time for exploring the lake in a kayak, as I did on a May paddle to Stonedam Island with Dave Mallard of the Lakes Region Conservation Trust. I met Dave at the Cattle Landing launch area in Meredith, in the northern portion of the lake, and we set off on a 30-minute paddle to Stonedam. While most of Winnipesaukee shoreline is privately owned, the Conservation Trust manages 4 islands that are open to the public, including 5 Mile, Blanchard, Ragged, and Stonedam, the largest property. Arriving on the northeast shore of Stonedam, Dave and I beached our kayaks next to the long dock that can accommodate boats of up to 25 feet. A few steps away, nestled amid some newly leafed out oaks, was an old cabin. Built in the mid-1800s, the historic structure was originally part of an old homestead on Alton Bay. After being used by a children's camp for a number of years, it was moved to Stonedam in 1985, and now serves as a venue for cultural and natural history presentations.
Well, Stonedam Island is unique in a lot of ways. For the Lakes Region Conservation Trust, this was the first major project that the trust completed, meaning the first big property that they owned. We did a campaign to raise the money to purchase it. The land trust formed in 1979. This property was purchased in 1982. My position here is the Land and Stewardship Director. So it's my job to oversee the stewardship program, which is the management of all of our properties. And we have 25,000 acres in conservation. About 18,000 of that we own. The other is conservation easements. So I oversee the monitoring of our conservation easements, make sure that the terms of those easements are being upheld, and we monitor those easements every year.
From the cabin, Dave and I set out on the loop trail that skirts much of the island and winds through stands of hemlock beech, white pine, and red oak. Near the summit, we paused to take in the view of the lake and admire a yellow-rumped warbler that was passing through on its northward migration. For birders, Stonedam offers the chance to see numerous species in a single day, particularly in the spring.
So David, tell me about these holes in this tree.
Well, those are from, would be the pileated woodpecker.
The big ones.
Yeah, the big one with the red head. Judged by the size and the spacing of the mining.
Yeah.
And they're going for the insects and the insect larvae in the bark.
Sure. Wow, they make quite a hole, huh?
Yeah.
What's
interesting is that when they mine holes like this, sap will drip out of the cambium and fill this, and insects are drawn to that, so they'll be able to come back, eat the insects that are drawn to the sap.
It's like a trap.
Yeah, kind of.
No kidding.
One of the more unique natural features on this island is way up here on the summit is this year-round freshwater pool of water. It's a large vernal pool, and it stays wet all year round.
Really? Yeah, even during the summertime?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
And so it holds water all year round, and it's a breeding area for all kinds of amphibians.
Salamanders,
wood frogs, tree frogs.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Little hidden gem up here.
Absolutely. There's some Native American history on the island as well. The Algonquin tribe had a very large settlement over in the Weirs, and they used the islands for hunting and fishing. And it's believed that this island was used as sort of a boat manufacturing or repair spot. There was birch trees here that they used for their birch bark canoes, and there was large enough trees to cut and dig out for their dugout canoes. Somewhere on the island, there's said to be a rock very similar to this in size and shape, where it has sort of a bowl top.
A big glacial erratic.
Yeah, it was exactly an erratic, and sort of an undercut lip, where there was three grooves sort of worn into the rock, with one groove leading out to the edge, and it was believed to be a place where the Algonquin melted the birch sap, which they used to seal the birch bark canoes.
Cool.
Those canoes were very light and sleek in the water, so they used them mostly for hunting and fishing and moving around.
Unlike the dugout canoes, which were big old heavy things. They could take a lot of people.
Exactly.
Deer, mink, squirrel, and even the occasional bear visit the island, and if you study the forest floor carefully, you might spy one of the resident toads, salamanders, wood frogs, or garter snakes. The long loop trail eventually leads to a picnic area along a narrow beach on the island's southern shore. It's a popular spot among summer boaters and paddlers. Having completed our short hike around the island, Dave and I found ourselves back at the historic cabin where we had started, ready to begin our return trip to Cattle Landing. In forests and waters alike, Winnipesaukee spring awakening happens gradually and takes many forms. And waiting to revel in the annual transformation are folks like Jason Parent and Dave Mallard. While each take different cues from nature that a new season has begun, it all boils down to the same thing. The big lake is coming to life.